Good evening, everyone. Another 1 minute and then we'll start. So the journey of 21 weeks continues. And again, a little recap. Today is the 10th week. We have come this first week again. We started with a bang with speakers like Anil Singhvi, Ramdev Agarwalji, S. Naren, Navneet Munot, and Mahesh Patil, wherein all the inspirations drawn from the pandemic was shared. Then we had Dr. Radhakrishna Pillai coming in, and my book was also launched on that day. Then about the global scenario with Dr. Professor Ajay Pathak, Director IBS, Kolkata, and Vikas, Ajay, Bhushan Mahajan, Jayant, and Prashant also shared their success story, the one which we'll be doing today again. And in another episode, we learned from the Bollywood movies what investors have in for them. And Mahesh, Devendra, Chandresh, Pankaj, and Rajesh shared about their strength as a MFD, what they are doing, and that's how things were. And then we had an inspirational session about life is a celebration with Dr. Himanshu Buch and Dr. Joshita and their team with Manoj, Shivang, and Srivid. We also learned about the intellectual properties which all as a financial advisors and our clients are possessing and how that can be protected. Episode 6 was special in one way because when we all as a financial advisors or maybe MFDs or as an expert, we all are talking about legacy, we are talking about generation next, and we are talking about how the family business can be planned. And this is all what we had. 12 of the financial advisors whose second generation is already in business and they are doing extremely well in different parts of the country. This was an episode dedicated to the generation next. Then we had a session, which was episode 7 on the fundamental analysis with Mr. Shailesh Saraf, Varun, and Bihag, talking about the fundamental analysis and specific topics related to fundamentals. All these videos are there on our YouTube channel. So if any one of you have missed any part or if you want to see that again, you can actually go back and see that. Then during this Navratri, we had the Ashtami special with all the 8 women mutual fund distributors who are doing very, very good businesses all across India, from Agra to Mumbai and Delhi and Nagpur and all the cities. So Shefali, Nipa, Kanika, Rashmi, Shweta, Swati, Ruchika, Dr. Rekha, and also Anita Kanbargi, the 9th woman for Navratri, was also there sharing their experiences and their stories. Last week, we had a little talk on how Blue Ocean strategy works and how niche marketing works. Nitin is specializes in dealing with doctors, and he has written a book also. And Colonel retired Sanjeev is again specialized with army people. And Eric is someone who is from USA who has been instrumental in creating the Zerodha platform. He has been a part of that also. And also, he also has been working with certain leaders across India and across globe. So this was again working with special people and how that can really, really help you to grow your business. So let's have a little glimpse of the previous episode.
past 11 years. By the way, we complete 11 years tomorrow.
And every time that I visit someone's house in India, this is the way that I'm treated.
Which is for the insurance execution purpose. That is not related to any kind of capital market product like SEBI have.
So the journey is almost there in the middle. This week and the next week, we will be like in the middle of the 21-week journey. And today again, we will be covering a very special and a very, very important topic. I think again, we all as a mutual fund distributors or an RIA or whatever, we are in the midst of something. A lot of people are there changing the name of their company, changing the name of their brand, changing the name, something which they were actually working for last 15, 20, 25 years. And all of a sudden, things have changed. So this is what has happened. And so in this gentleman, Mr. Abhinesh Kumar, he needs actually no introduction. Across India, people know him so well, and he has been a very, very, I'll say, there is a lot of learning and a lot of knowledge sharing which we keep on doing with Abhinesh ji. Not only his company, which is providing softwares for mutual fund distributors across India. I think there are thousands of users across India for his software, and he has been associated with some very, very big mutual fund companies in the key role, in their key positions earlier. And so he is again a person who is very well connected with mutual fund distributors, doing his business from Lucknow and also Delhi. And he is also running an academy called by the name Fynsys Academy. They create some real good stuff and good content. And a lot of mutual fund distributors across India are getting benefited out of that. He is specialized in actually coming out with very, very key learnings from certain situations. And this situation, I think that there is no, I will not say there is no better person than him, but I think he is one of the most crucial and a very, very important person who can actually enlighten us and can share or can explain the whole issue, whatever we are going through, whether to be an MFD or to become an RIA, or what is this new regulation about, or how to actually convert or make things like a composite thing wherein both the models do exist. So without wasting much of time and with whatever introduction I have done, let's move to this person who needs no introduction. But again, more and more you listen to him, more and more you will love that he keeps on talking, and the message, the knowledge, the wisdom which he is having is phenomenal. My dear friends, we really look forward to people like Abhinesh ji to be in the industry and become a guiding force for all of us. So thank you very much, Abhinesh ji, for with your presence in this particular program, in this series, whatever we are doing in 21 weeks. So looking forward to learn from you. Thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Kanakji, and good evening, all guests and everybody here. So as Kanakji introduced me in a little bigger frame and pictures, but yes, I'm one among you only, and whenever such session comes and we need to really, and people invite us to talk on something, I make it one thing very clear as a disclaimer that I'm not a lawyer nor a CA. I hope my screen is visible now, Kanakji. It's now there. Okay.
Yes, yes, you can make it full screen. Yeah.
Great. So when we are going to have this session, let's assume that this is going to be another 45 minutes kind of friendly discussion about what should be the way forward. So that is what topic which I have kept today. Obviously, it is going to be the implementation and actions has to be taken from your side according to your own validity and understanding. Maybe these 30-45 minutes will help you in understanding and removing some confusions if there are things in your mind. So I will try to take this as a discussion forum. Obviously, I would like this to be interactive, but I will give you the interaction opportunity at the end, because once I will complete my flow and discussion, I will obviously open the forum for more discussion on things. So topic is very clear. And if I go by this topic, let me just open this. Okay. So the topic and content of the discussion today is way forward. So that is very important, because all of us have been renamed as MFDs, so mutual fund distributors. In one of my blog, I even written this statement that suddenly Viskarma has been told to remove his name and change it to a contractor. So Viskarma, who made everything and he established the whole world, and suddenly if someone will take away all those credits and say, no, you are only a contractor. So that's the same situation in which we all are puzzled. And most of the grudges inside MFDs are this, that we actually worked in developing and creating this industry over the past 20, 30 years. Actually, we were the only advisors, we were the only distributors. Whatever name you give, this 90,000, 80,000 people today who are MF registered are the people who actually created the industry. So there is a sentimental, emotional issues also with these changes. So what I need to really go about is, let's first understand that what all changes has been done and where we are placed now in the whole situation as a MFD. Then we have to see whether things are going against the stream or it's in our favor, or whatever changes we need to do. So that's the way I'm going to take the whole discussion forward. So about me, as Kanak already introduced you, I am an MFD fraternity member, and obviously spent my initial years of my career in 1995 with India's first private sector, which was called Kothari Pioneer that time. So since their launch, I was associated with them. So whatever learning I have actually acquired during all these 20, 25 years is because of this basic phase of my life when I started my career with a company who in itself was a what you call a new baby, a younger person in that scenario. So Kothari Pioneer was the first India's private sector mutual fund. They struggled a lot in terms of fighting with UTI, which was already a government initiated fund. So we learned a lot of things in terms of what is investor psychology, how they and what kind of distribution model they actually accept and like. Another 5 years when I spent at ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund in Northern India in terms of developing their mutual fund base or distribution base. There also, they were the new entrant in the company. So when I joined ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund in 1998, they actually entered India with their scheme. So that another 5 years with a fresh company doing all the establishments was again a learning. So all these learnings gave me a lot of back-end knowledge about compliance, training, softwares, business coaching. So these are the things which I am really going to share with you people as a learning, and think what is my way ahead and how I look at this business in next 10 years. So maybe some will agree, some will not agree, but whatever the questions you have, and we can talk about it at the end of the session. So as a disclaimer, I said I'm not a lawyer or CA, just my experience, which I'm going to share and talk about it. Positioning is very important. So a lot of people in this industry, even the best of the experts, when I talk, they generally confuse or they're not very clear in terms of positioning of an MFD in the whole scenario. So let's first make it very clear, because that will set the attitude for all our discussion. So positioning of an MFD in the regulatory environment of SEBI, if you see, SEBI is a round regulator which manages all the mutual fund businesses. So obviously under the SEBI, there is one entity which is RIA, Registered Investment Advisors, who actually act as a financial intermediary for the customers. There is another entity called AMC. So AMC is also registered under SEBI parallel to RIA. So when we say parallel, the jobs are different, but both are reporting to SEBI. So RIA has a distribution job, or what you call advisory job, or an intermediation job, but AMC has a manufacturing job. So they manufacture products in this mutual fund industry, and they also report to SEBI. Then there is the RTA, Obviously, there are few more constituents I'm not talking, but these are the key three constituents in the mutual fund industry. All three reporting to SEBI, have their different roles. So where is MFD in the whole scenario? No one. So SEBI, under its current or past structure, they don't have MFD in the picture. So this is the first thing I want to tell you all people, and really to realize that we as an entity, we as our existence is not directly reporting to SEBI. So that's the first layer. Now the second layer, when RIA has to go, they have to go to investors. They are free to sell anything, anyway, whatever regulatory framework is there, but they are directly managing their customers. Even when it comes to AMC, they have a choice. They have a choice to keep someone to distribute their product. So there comes MFD. So we are not in the first layer, we are in the second layer. So that is the first thing I want to clarify. Okay, chalo. So when we are a second layer, SEBI knows AMC. They don't know us directly. AMC in turn has hired us. So we are an employee, a distributor, what you call showroom or whatever. We are representing AMC, nothing else. So that is the first thing which will take my case forward, and I will be able to explain you why these all nomenclatures things happen, why name changes happen, and what is there behind the mind of SEBI. So first of all, this structure, I hope all of you are clear. Then AMC has a full right to go to investors directly, just like RIA, they can also go to investors. And then RTA, they are also allowed to cater investors. And then finally MFD, they can cater to investors. So now see the scenario. These layer one people are going to cater, and they are catering, although in the past history, to direct investors directly. And MFD can only cater to investor as a representative of AMC. We cannot say anything else. We can only say, I am a registered mutual fund distributor. I am a registered mutual fund distributor. So that's the only identity we have. So earlier, we never used to write this kind of slogan or tagline in our visiting cards and everything. So SEBI had a point there. They said, who is this MFD who is writing the tagline of RIA, who is writing the tagline of AMC or a RTA? Why a MFD is writing the tagline? So first of all, as a regulatory norms, SEBI had to distinguish this layer one and layer two. So they said clearly under their new amendment of SEBI regulation, which was issued a few months back and implemented on 30th of October, that every distributor, MFD, should really write a tagline everywhere in their visiting card or a website or app that I am a MFI registered distributor. I am not a SEBI registered entity. So that is something which they enforced. So now from there, the whole story started. The story started, first of all, with the tagline. The second thing they said, how can my investors, these are investors, investor 1, investor 2, investor 3, and this is investor 4. How can these investors identify their preferred choice? Whether I want to go through RIA, whether I want to go through AMC, whether I want to go through a RTA app or anything. So that question needs to be clarified with a no nonsense declaration. So SEBI has always followed a path of what you call true to label names. So true to label name is under the constitution of SEBI. So anything they produce, either that there is a product like RBI bond fund, they cannot tell it money wealth making bond fund. It will be confusing to the economy. So in a way, SEBI has always done this. So nothing new. This time what they only did is they picked MFD and told them that please be true to label in terms of your name. So our name, if it is written Abhinesh, Kumar and Consultancy Company, so it indirectly appears that I am in layer 1. I am an advisor. I am not a distributor of AMC. So SEBI said that whatever name you keep, so I'm not going to issue a complete directory of 10 lakh names and you can choose from there. So instead of me issuing any directory, you take your own honorary step and understand that your name should not appear that you are in layer 1. So that is the only thing they said. How they will penalize about putting the wrong name, what they will do, kind of notice, penalty amount or everything, that will come after 31st December 2020. So currently, in a rush, everybody started changing names from X to Y and Z. Now, what actually appeared as a route, as an option in this whole discussion is what I'm going to talk. So the option which appeared in this whole discussion is, if you register as a RIA, that means you're MFD, and you register as a RIA additionally as a hybrid model, then you are not required to change your name. So from there, a lot of questions started emerging and bouncing in the system that should we take RIA additionally to my MFD license? Should we move from layer 2 to layer 1? And all these questions are the questions. I hope I'm clear that what I'm going to address and talk about. So let's move ahead and let's now talk about the options for MFD. Just a second. Okay. So client acquisition survey, ये बहुत important है, and this is what we need to learn first before deciding. As I said, I am not going to, and actually I'm not dictating anything or teaching you as a teacher or giving my knowledge, forcing my knowledge on the audience. Actually, it's not like that. I'm only discussing because these are my thoughts and I'm open to discussion. So let's first understand how I really think for the next 10 years story about way forward of my business. So first of all, let's understand the client acquisition survey. This is an independent survey, but generally done by a lot of private firms. Even I keep doing such survey on my own with 500,000 samples. So this is something which I really want to share. First of all, when it comes to AMC, why a customer goes to AMC? So that is the key question, because then only we will be able to decide if we are sitting for a topic, we are sitting for a question that what should be way forward. So we have to understand different competitors, different entities, and then decide that what should be my model of business from here. So first of all, I picked AMC. Why an investor goes to AMC? What makes him buy through AMC app or something? So the survey says no one goes to AMC. It's basically the misuse of data. So a lot of people will get surprised to see this, but this is the real fact. Real fact. SEBI has got a data about it also. I will share it. So because of misuse of data, how misuse of data? AMC is actually a manufacturer. And being a manufacturer for the last 25, 30 years, this mutual fund industry has seen a huge growth, and we gave them the data. Sara mehnat humne kiya. We managed them, we motivated them to save. Mutual fund ke liye to sab bhagte the. I remember in 95, 98, people used to throw me out of their office when I used to talk about mutual funds. They were not ready to listen. Fixed deposit chalta tha sirf. Fixed deposits. But mutual funds ki popularity is only because of, with the time, people realized that safety is in the structure. Safety is in the transparency, not in guarantee. So in this last 20 to 25 years, the investor community learned one thing, that no guarantee means safety. Guarantee brings a risk with it. So that's the position which mutual fund earned. And because of that, we grew so fast in last 5-10 years. Now, when we grew, our data came to AMC. They started a new technology, they started digital marketing, and even they had a better brand pool, because anyone, if your client receives a mailer from SDFC, it will be much more valuable than my own or your own mailer. So there we started missing our clients, and that's the reason clients started going there. So out of my total survey, from wherever I have done, 90%, almost 90% people said, we didn't know, we just got the mailer, I thought it has come from you. किसी ने बोला, अरे मुझे तो पता नहीं यार, उसमें आया था कि आपका SIP मैच्योर हो रहा है, प्लीज कर लीजिए, तो मैंने कर लिया. So it was a complete chori. Now anyway, when it comes to RTA, why customer goes to RTA? Who knows CAMS and Carvi? Who knows? All the customers started knowing CAMS and Carvi from three sources. Number one, the account statement which we gave them, or which has come to them, there was a space at the bottom which was written, CAMS address this, your registrar and transfer agent. Then AMC started popularizing their point of sales through their direct website. Under each point of sales, they used to give the address of their registrar. And finally, registrar also had got all India data of businesses which had been mobilized by distributors, and they finally started the same function. What excuse they give? AMC said, "Arey, we are doing it for you only. TV में तो हम ad देते ही है ना. तो Abhinesh, what is wrong in sending mailer to your client with a click to invest now?" Wow. So that was their excuse. They were saying, we are doing for promotion. We can't stop ourselves from this. So please, Abhinesh, don't argue. Similarly, these RTA people also said the same. Our job is to facilitate customers for easy transaction. So we are promoting MyCams. How will you see this as a harm to you or going against the distributor community? I'm not doing that. If you can tell your customer that please download MyCams, you can easily put your ARN into it and EON number into it, and then that customer will transact on your code. So what is the problem? So they don't understand one thing, that the major problem goes in terms of the step one after invest now, and that step one is the direct and regular mark. So my point with these companies, and rather a lot of people raise this point, so I'm showing you this point of AMC and RTA, and good news also with sharing with you that what happened after this. So this is something which has happened. Let me show you. Yeah. This is the news, which I don't know how many of you have read it. It's a 5 days back story. After around 5 years back, I'm just reading few lines for your conviction, so that you will feel confident. This was the problem, but this problem is gone. So how this problem is gone, let me tell you and show you. Today is the day of victory. Actually, on 30th October, MFD community won. How they won? This was the petition. If you don't have seen this petition, let's see this petition. This was a petition. CAMS is our service provider or competitor. It was floated 5 years back. 5 years back by an association which is represented here in UP, and we 700 people started this petition, and we finally got a victory. The petition had actually asked a penalty and a compensation from CAMS and AMCs at rupees 5 lakhs for 100 crore AUM, means around 10 rupees per click, because they were misusing our data. They were misusing the data which we brought in with all our efforts, and they were simply sending them a direct mailer or change mailer or something. So that, and what is the victory? Victory is this regulation. If you have not read this regulation was issued on July 2020, but was to be implemented on 2nd November 2020. So from 2nd November 2020, what is this regulation and what does it say? RTA, AMCs, and digital platforms should not promote their apps to investors who are already managed by distributor. Got this? This is a big win, friends. Big win. So I hope all of you have read this. If not, then do read it. This petition actually aimed at breaking the dadagiri of RTA and AMCs. So this is the blog post. I will send it to Kanakji on chat, so most of you can also have an access there. Now, let's come back to the presentation. So this is the first Khush Khabri through which we are writing, proceeding forward. So when we are actually into a discussion of what should be our way ahead, then this is a very important topic which I just shared with you. Why this is important? Because now we should not be feared about technology and misuse of data. So this will not happen again. सोचो अगर ये पहले नहीं होता, imagine if 5 years back this regulation would have come, AMC के पास hardly कुछ client होते. कौन जाता AMC के पास? कोई नहीं जाता. AMC के पास time नहीं था. They were busy with their own system. Why people went there? Just because they forced into our system. They forced and they entered, opposed our clients. So there is another survey which a smart gentleman is doing. He is coming out with this report, and maybe by December I will share it with your scale ups and skill sessions, and maybe Kanakji will share with all of you. This person is working on a data that how many AMC acquired clients and RTA acquired clients are or were already an invested with some or other distributor. And he is challenging that when the report will come, the whole industry will keep their eyes open. They will be shocked because more than 75% of AMC acquired clients were earlier managed by some or the other distributors. So if this data will come, तो सोचो इन लोगों ने तो हमारा पूरा 5 साल में कितने 1000 crores उड़ा लिया होगा. Sir, anyway. So what is the choice here? The client acquisition survey, when I say I'm not really feared about this. Now SEBI being on our side, issued such a good regulation, these people cannot do any mischievous activity. And if any of you find that, please report it to us so that we can put it there on the SEBI notice. Anyway, now as third, RIA. Who goes to RIA? People who are much concerned about the fee factors. For example, when you go for online shopping, what is the key thing for you go to Amazon? What is the key thing? If you really ask yourself, what is the difference between Flipkart and Amazon? So, and even XYZ. So, आप बोलोगे वहाँ discount ज़्यादा मिलता है, वहाँ EMI option है, वहाँ पे exchange भी हो जाता है, exchange offers भी है. So everything is related to a loss. Means Amazon, if today will stop giving any discount or a competitive rates of the product, it will be same, then people may not even log into it. So the only factor on which they sell is first Amazon discount. The second thing is availability of everything at one place. So maybe you will say, no, I go to Amazon because it is a market, supermarket. Everything you think about from pin to plane, it is available there. So that is another factor. And the third value which generally comes to your mind is, it's very simple to buy and purchase. So technology. So technology will make things. But when it comes to RIA, if you see the customers who have went or has invested through RIA like ET Money, Upwardly, or Fisdom, or XYZ, whatever name has been a story, a success story in the last 4 or 5 years, they all have this one common factor which they discount pool. They all presented the commission and no commission comparison. And by saving on the commission, what you will actually save in future, what you can actually convert into a future wealth, that kind of false dreams they presented. And that's the reason why people went to RIA. Now this survey says, it does not mean that all about all the investors. When I'm saying that this survey says AMC के पास क्यों गया, RT के पास क्यों गया, RIA के पास क्यों गया, तो ये एवरेज है फॉर मिनिमम 50% कस्टमर. यानी ये सर्वे में अगर 50 लोगों ने कहा 100 में से कि यस मैं तो RIA के पास सिर्फ डिस्काउंट के लिए गया था, तो आपको हमने यहाँ पे उसको जनरल सर्वे बना दिया. बट ओवरऑल ये तीनों फैक्टर ये समझ आया कि यहाँ पे लोगों को क्या चाहिए, why investor are going at this place. But when it comes to MFD, the people who gave their survey is regarding relationship, the emotional bonds, door-to-door services, hand-holding, motivation, presence in need. जब जरूरत हो हाजिर होता है. Just one call and he is there. Bookkeeping. So these are the things which were the key factors why customer preferred a MFD or a MFD kind of distributor. So friends, let's now decide the first score when we are talking about whether we should go for a MFD or RIA or both. So in this first slide, when we have talked about client acquisition survey, what do you really feel? Which model of business we should do? Obviously, this is a winner. This is a winner. So MFD is a really great business to do. We are into a right business, but what we are going to lose if we remain in this business? What we will lose is such clients who are looking. So this has been already protected by AMC. So don't worry about this top two, AMC and RTA. It's very dirty. Let me clean it. Let me clean it again so that, yeah. So these two are not at all a botheration to us. So forget about it. SEBI has taken control of it. Now, our main competitor is RIA. So one has to decide today whether we should really switch to RIA or add RIA. If we add RIA because we think that there are thousands and lakhs of customers who will be looking for discount pool or a fees factor or a technological hi-fi robotic system, so then you have to add it. Obviously, MFD should not be left. Rather, I predict on my experience that in next 1 year, all RIA non-individual, I'm not talking about individual because individual cannot make two choices. They have only one choice. Only non-individual can make two choices. So most of the non-individual RIA will take MFD licenses. देख लेना आप, ये तो होगा, because no one will like to really lose this section. So from here we are winner. And now let's see another debate and another point. So point number one I've given, you have noted. We can have discussion in next 5-10 minutes. I'm just closing it and then we will talk about it. Now point number two, which will help you in deciding way forward, is this obviously SEBI regulation, which I told you, it's already taken care of AMC and RTA. So don't worry, this is done. Now point number three, if we really pick few words, let's pick few words. In AMC, technology is the word. In RTA, technology is the word. In RIA also, technology is the word. But in case of MFD, technology is there, but that is not the key word. So the most important and what you call a friendly tips which I can give to all of you is, if we add technology, then we will be much superior to these people. So technology adoption and understanding what to adopt is going to be the winning edge for us. So if you are MFD and you will ask me what extra I can do, what special I can do to remain in this business and grow my business faster. So all these people have done the job which is based on technology, because none of these are relationship people. They all have actually expanded their arms through smart technology, and they pumped in money in branding and other things to attract customers. But we all are doing it on a relationship basis. But there are friends, and most of the people when I guide and talk as a business coaching, they generally tell me or share me that they have spent 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs. and their overall technology expenditure is very high. But that is also not true, friends. In our case, you have to be very limited upon your technology expenditure. Don't just spend on anything, because first of all, you realize, and that's why I spent so much time on this only slide, because once we understand our role, then we will not spend in unnecessary factor. For example, you don't need any technology to cater all India customer, because you are already a relationship person. You need to create emotional bond. You cannot create emotional bond by way of handling your customer in Mumbai and you're sitting in Lucknow. So you will miss on these points. So please understand, you have to be very clear whether you want to grow on these points or you want to grow on technology. If you want to grow on technology, your path should go to RIA. With MFD license, you cannot use technology to grow. You can only, with MFD, you can only use technology to what you call maintain, sustain, service your clients, give them a right time portfolio, one click access, easy onboarding. These are the things which you can give. You should not buy such technology which can give you 10,000 customers across India through mass mailing, because you will fail. Why will you fail? Because you cannot compete with their discount pool, their fees factor, their false dreams which they are eligible to show. You cannot show that. So when you know your competitor, you have to really work in that domain. So that's the clarity. Now let's discuss the future growth of 10 years, how we see. Again, this is based on the experience, discussion, and different debates which we keep doing with our senior members and other colleagues. So what we see in the next 10 years, you can also note these points so that you can debate after the discussion. This is related to investors. Investors will have very less choice in financial market. This is my first point. They will have very, very less choice. As you have seen in the last 25 years, chit fund gone, normal fixed deposit gone. Recently, company fixed deposit have also lost their steam. So what is left? We are left with only stock market where direct stock can be bought, and we are left with the bonds and other things, which has also a very smaller time. I think people will not lend at all to a company directly. So corporate lending will also go out from retail. So everything will go out. People will only have a mutual fund as a good multiple option, safe, regulated, and other things. So mutual fund will gain more faith, because कभी कभी क्या होता है, आप कितना भी चिल्ला के बोलो आप अच्छे हो, people don't understand. But once they burn their fingers, उनको जब खुद कहीं प्रॉब्लम होती है, गलतियां होती है, मार्केट में इवेंट्स होते हैं, तो आपका खुद ब खुद फेथ रीबिल्ड हो जाता है उनका आपकी तरफ. So same is happening. As things are going wrong in different areas, different industry, and they have seen things are going wrong in mutual fund also, but under a very, very controlled scenarios. There are things which are there, they are transparent, they are people are now able to understand. So what I believe in next 10 years is that mutual fund will gain a huge acceptance. So the pie under which we all are fighting today may be 5-10 times more and bigger pie. So everybody will grow their business. All simple 100 crore MFD can easily become 1,000 crore MFD. That's what I believe, through the market growth, through the natural addition, and just by servicing your existing customers from today of 100, you will easily reach 1,000. Not at all, no effort extra required. So we'll have more clarity over the advantages. Public will be able to, an investor will be able to really understand MF well. They will have more easy onboarding and transactional process. So that will change the world, because in the last 1 or 2 years, onboarding has been struggling thing for all RTA, AMC, distributor, RIA. They struggled a lot because of KYC, PAN card, and XYZ. But as things are getting streamlined, I believe in next 10 years, onboarding will be one click, one answer. So transaction will be very smooth. So those two jointly will really take mutual fund businesses on a larger side. When it comes to AMC, we'll have more stringent SEBI regulations on name, fund management, fees, etc. They will have to really struggle a lot. They will have to change many things. will have more issues with their MFD. This is important line which I want to really write. ये समझ लो हम लोगों का स्ट्रक्चर क्या था. This was our structure. If you see, this was our structure. And इस पूरे स्ट्रक्चर में हमारा गार्जियन कौन है? Who is my guardian? AMC. And what was expected from an AMC? Have you seen AMC apps? Have you seen their transactional platform? Have you seen their website? Everything is much advanced than ours. ऐसा लगता है वो अमेरिका में रह रहे हैं और हम इंडिया में रह रहे हैं. That's the difference. But as they know that हम उन्हीं के लिए काम करते हैं, we are their distributor. Still, they have never ever transferred their technology and innovations to all MFD at a go. They have done the distinct behavior with different distributors. So that is the mistake which AMC did, and that's the problem, because they are not able to understand कि boss मैं तेरी नौकरी करता हूँ. Say example, you are running a company and you use a good software or CRM at your head office level and don't give it to a branch level. What will happen? Your branches will not flourish. Your smaller guys will not flourish. And you will think that why my company is not growing. Your company is not growing because you're not sharing your best of the things to all the ground level people. And similarly, this is happening with MFD versus AMC. They are not sharing anything. Whatever they innovate, they are very proud of it. We have done it. Arey bhaiya, why are you proud of it? Share it also, na? We also need it. You cannot just keep it with yourself. So that is what I'm going to, I was actually referring here, that they will be more jealous, that jealousy will grow. Why? Because MFD will become more bigger. And I don't know why this is happening in between manufacturer and distributor. Today, we should have been the best of the friends. But unfortunately, there is a big pull between manufacturer and distributor. Although I'm trying my hard on my level, there are people also working that AMC and distributor should work as a close-knit friends, which is mutually beneficial for both. But somehow that is not happening. But I feel in the next 10 years, that gap will grow. There will be a much bigger jealousy gap. So that is something. RTAs will have more technology solution for the industry, will be restricted to the basic profession. That I see, because I will keep fighting through these all petitions, legal rules, SEBI and all, and make sure that RTA should their own job. They should not play with our data. Our data is our proprietary right. No one can market, publicize, and distribute my data for any other purpose. So we all have to together ensure that SEBI is helping us. They have even given them the mandate, both AMC and RTA, that you cannot promote on distributors' data any of your group company product also. So they cannot promote anything. Okay, so that is very important. Now, at the end, when I say we have to be very confident that investors use only two of these existence, the memory and ego. I'm not, this is a Pandit Ravi, Sri Ravi Shankar's episode from which I have just extracted, that they start their session by saying that we have 7 different existence. Every human being has 7 different existence. So out of these, I'm not going to explain what is body, breath, brain, mind, but understand every human being, every investor has a memory and ego. We as a MFD or as a RIA have a job. So RIA works on their memory. They create, recall, discounting, things and all. And a distributor works on the ego. So we help and we grow our business through the ego massaging. Ego is not only by saying, sir, sir. Ego massaging is addressing, giving a customized approach and XYZ. So when it comes to retail investors, this is the slide which will make you finally decide where to go. And then I will sum up. When you go to retail investors, you have to understand this is again based on an India survey as on 30th July. As on 30th July, this is again private independent freelance survey, which says that more than 90% of retail investors, what they need, we have accumulated. The survey was done with around 1,000 set of people, 1,001, 1,002 retail, different 3 age groups. All the survey, out of all the answers, 90% was the same. So that has been picked here. Number one, they all need hand holding. They don't know who is RIA. They don't know who is MFD. They don't know what is AMC. They don't know what is registrar. They only need hand holding, motivation, because this is the biggest thing. And out of the survey, more than 90%, rather 95, 96% said, I need motivation, yaar. जेब से पैसा ही नहीं निकलता, कोई मोटिवेट कर देना, that person is hero for me. So in India, people are not looking at research. They don't want you to really give them the product जो उनको 10 का 20 बना दे. They don't need it. They only need the person who can motivate them to save, who can hold their hand during problems, who can provide them one-click service, who can at least manage their records and give incidental advice. Incidental is something very big here. Okay, I will talk about it. So, secondly, they love to know about a comprehensive financial plan, but don't spend time. सबको लगता है हाँ मेरा एक बढ़िया plan बना दो. Give me a good booklet which says cash flow. इस दिन बच्चा बड़ा होगा, इस दिन आप retire करोगे. But वो उसके कूड़े में जाके पड़ा रहता है. वो किसी भी investment के समय अपना comprehensive plan refer नहीं करता है. So this is just good for making the 90% of the retail customer never ever go back and visit their financial plan. They just keep saving because जो आ जाता है वो उसी को बचाते हैं. Saving a sum aside is more important for them. Investing is not at all important. So for them, anything which is equal to bank rate, they are happy. Why? Because their saving is important. Return is the last thing. So their investment ROI desire is very low to moderate. They don't need you or need a person who can double their income. That is not their desire. Their desire is someone who can motivate and help them in save. They want a special treatment, family type. They need to deal with the people who will appear, or a kind of energy which should come is like a family member. So that's what they are looking at. They hate too much of professionalism. They don't need and they don't like, sir, tomorrow at 8:30, I have an appointment with you. Can we come? They don't need such kind of professional approach. So they hate that. So otherwise, the retail investor has clearly said that MFD are good for them. So there also we score. So in the first topic, when I started, I closed with MFD as a winner. Here also in this retail investor survey, MFD is a winner. So that means MFD business is a good business, and this is going to be the best way forward if you are looking to cater retail investors. If you're looking to cater HNIs today is not only 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. HNI, when I'm talking PMS portfolio wala jo minimum benchmark hai, means 50 lakhs. So 25-50 lakhs wala jo investor hai, unka jab survey hua, to they said that what they seek, technically sound plan. They need a plan. They need a good cash flow discussion. They want to talk when my money will come, when it will go, when this will come, I will buy that. And that's the whole scenario. They want to really talk about the cash flow and other comprehensive discussions. They want to take leverage. That is the key thing. More than 90% people are ticked on this, that I really am looking at whatever I'm investing, I want to take leverage of this investment at any point of time. For example, they will take loans against security. Maybe they would like you to provide them a good personal loan in between when they need a cash flow or an overdraft or something. So for them, debt is also equally very important. Raising debt is a very equally important than investing also, as compared to investing. Their detailed discussion goes on alpha. They need a personalized advisory. They need low to moderate ego massage. They don't need too much of ego massaging because they are very busy. They don't have time. So when it comes to HNI, obviously we have a lower hand. RIA are allowed to do all this. Even if we can do this, we cannot do that. So that's the case. For catering to maximum HNIs, 82% of those HNIs generally expect these things from you. So obviously as a MFD, you cannot do that. So you have to either take the RIA or leave those customers aside. So that's another example. Now, corporates as same like HNI, but they also need an advisor with legal expertise, EPFO, company law, etc. So as a MFD, you don't have these. So either you take RIA, or being MFD, you become referee of these kind of institutions. For example, you become referee for a EPFO consultant and you earn commission from that. You become referee for a will writing company and earn commission from them. Because SEBI has clearly said that as distributor, you can become referee of anything. You can refer to anyone and earn commission, but you cannot charge fees. So you cannot become a legal advisor yourself, but you can refer to a legal advisor and earn money. So, okay. So these are the things. So this is manageable anyway, corporate, and you can take leverage. You can sell them any software for payroll. You can sell them a HR management software, or maybe you can refer them someone and charge money from that company. So these are the things which you can do. Approximate annual timeshare from these three segments. Retail gives 60 hours in a year, as per the survey, 60 hours a year for their investment management, maximum. So this is the highest side on the mean average. And HNI gives around 25 hours and a corporate gives around 12 hours. So because of their busy schedule, because of their other engagements, this segment which spends more time, and 60 hours in itself is a very less time, but still they give 60 hours in a year. So if you will make your approach and buy this 60 hour completely in your favor, if you take 100% pie of this 60 hour, then you will easily win their mind space. So that is the area where all MFD should really focus, and this is easy to beat because these 160 hours which they spend, they really meet, talk, they are emotionally involved. It's not on technology only. But when it comes to HNIs who has got less time, they have no other option but to really take technology support. So there they are more involved with robotic approach than a human approach. Okay, so mistakes by RIA. Instead of selling the advisory, they sold the fee discount. That's a good mistake they have done. We are very happy. So if you ask me, they are my enemy or competitor. As a competitor, when I see RIA today, they are in a trap situation. SEBI has given them a lot of restrictions to do's and don'ts. SEBI has increased the threshold of net worth. They have even increased the threshold or minimum requirement of qualification. So everything has become really tough for RIAs. And in this whole scenario, they today are not able to charge decent fees also. Why they are not able to charge fees? Because they themselves has announced or onboarded customers by giving zero fees slogan. So today their own slogan has become a pain for them. So that is the basic thing. उन्हीं का छोड़ा तीर उनको लग गया. तो इसलिए इस वक्त this is a very tough situation, and now RIA is branded as a place to save on fees. So everybody today is jumping onto RIA only if they want to save on fees, not because they are going to get any extraordinary advice, not because they are going to get any special unique presentation on cash flow, because all those things we can anyway do as an incidental advice. So that's why RIA has done a mistake. Now, by AMC, what mistake they have done? Instead of empowering their distributors, they would have helped them, help themselves. So instead of helping distributors, they help themselves. So वो उनका बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो गया. अगर उन्होंने हम सभी को एम्पावर कर दिया होता, अगर उन्होंने हमारे सभी के वेबसाइट अपने वेबसाइट के जैसे बना देते, बिकॉज वी आर देयर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर, दे हैव जस्ट गिवन अ क्लोन टू अस, वो सभी को एक ऐप दे देते, सभी के साथ टेक्नोलॉजी दे देते, और तो हम आज कितने बड़े लेवल पे ग्रो कर सकते थे, और वो भी ग्रो कर सकते थे. बट यहाँ पे सिनारियो क्या है? इट्स इंटायरली डिफरेंट. We all are competing with AMCs. We are making our own app, own website, own CRM, developing a lot of money, investing into mailing, digital marketing, and whatsoever. We are spending a huge lot of money, and still we are not able to reach to that point which we really want, because we are not able to get that technological backend. So this is something which they did the mistake, and that's the reason that gap is growing. Now, And mistakes by RTA, big mistake. Rakshak bana bhakshak. As I shown you, this is a good victory thing which we all are enjoying. And this is really a great proud moment for us that SEBI has identified that Rakshak bana bhakshak nahi kar sakta. So unko fir se back to square aana pada. They are now stick to their job instead of suddenly expanding their arms, my camps, my operator or XYZ. And why are they involved in increasing transaction? I don't know on a direct level. And what was their benefit? We never knew. But anyway, now it's over and we are good with that. So keyword to discuss is incidental advice. This is with MFD and we are very, very powerful because of this incidental advice option. And this is not a small word. 90% of Indian take incidental advice. They don't even ask advice. वो जब लगाने आता है ना तभी आपसे कहता है अरे सर बता दो कहाँ लगाना है. आप उसको बोलोगे बैठ के let's plan about it. तो पहले भी वो भागता था हमारे प्लान से और आज भी भागता है. Luckily एक MFD को ये पूरा इन्वायरमेंट फ्री मिल गया. उसको तो अब एडवाइस करनी नहीं है, सिर्फ इंसिडेंटल एडवाइस करनी है. तो दैट इज ऑलवेज गुड. सो दिस वर्ड इज इन आवर फेवर. फुल एडवाइस वो राइजिंग ट्रेंड पे है यंगर पॉपुलेशन में बिकॉज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी. So there, if you want to enter, you have to take RIA. Otherwise, if you are happy with incidental advice and believe that 90% of Indians actually need incidental advice, then you should not be bothered. Final classification तो हो ही गया. ये सब डिस्कशन भी हम आगे बढ़ाते क्योंकि we are close to time. And the key question is, this is the last question that I am putting here. You can take screenshots so that you can talk about it. The question is, we should serve the audience which is less in number and high in expectation, or we should serve the audience which is higher in number and moderate in expectation. So this is retail, obviously. This is retail. And this is HNI and even somewhat younger executives, or both. So you have both. Current business options, RIA individual बन जाओ, RIA नॉन इंडिविजुअल बन जाओ और AMC बन जाओ. ये तीन आपके पास वे फॉर्मेट है. अगर आप AMC के थ्रू MFD बन जाते हो, जो कि आप सभी लोग हो, आई होप जितने भी लोग ने ज्वाइन किया है वो सब MFDs हैं आज. You can execute regular plan with incidental advice. This is your power. And as I said, 90% of Indian investors, retail investors need that. Pie will increase, your business will increase. You don't need anything extra. You can concentrate and focus on this business and grow it much, much better format with least capital investment. But if you become RIA non-individual, you need 50 lakhs of net worth. First of all, you need to have a postgraduate degree, the principal officer, and each employee should have a professional degree, maybe a BCom or a postgraduate. And then all your team should be qualified or certified with IA examination, both level 1 and level 2. Then you have to create IA division. One division is which will only execute direct plan if they wish. Another division is MFD, which can execute regular plan if they wish. But the customer cannot be common in both. So these are the details which I'm not talking again here, because you all have attended so many webinars in past 1 month, and you are very clear that what is RIA non-individual and what is RIA individual. So I'm not going to spend time in talking about it. If you have any of you have query about it and still you are not aware about all these three categories, so ask me. But otherwise, this is one option, this is two option, and this is three option. So summing up, ask yourself, will you be working as a distributor to AMC? Are you happy? See the environment, see the scope. If you believe it is all good, you have a lot of potential to grow, then continue with it. Will you be working as an independent advisor? Ask yourself, is it required? Who is the audience you are going to serve? Which are the audience who demand that? Will you be working as both? So these are the three questions. And with these three questions, in order to reach to the answer of these questions, I have explained all these 45 minutes and 50 minutes lecture to you in terms of giving you clarity, survey, background, psychology of investors, and other things which is happening, just in order to help and reach at the right point. So obviously, these are the benefits which I had noted down, but I will not talk more on this. So what is the final suggestion? My final suggestion is empower your MFD infrastructure in terms of onboarding, transaction, and reporting. Empower it. Have better customer interface by way of app or website so that you can compete with RIA interface. RIAs have very beautiful interfaces. So we have to work upon your interface, make it beautiful. So your technology interface should be competitive, seamless, easy, hassle-free, better communication, reminder management tools like CRMs. You must work about or explore Zoho and other fully automated options so that you enhance your working pattern. It should not be a very old traditional manner of answering your emails on sales. You should work on really getting your workflow automation. So these are the few things you should look at and maintain your MFD status, grow faster and better by way of depth instead of looking at the breadth at a first go. Convert your MFD into LLP or private limited. This is must. If you really want to be in MFD business, I would suggest you to convert your business into LLP or private. Don't work on these multiple ARN system. Okay. Whatever you save today will be very heavy penalty on you. Again, I'm not threatening or disturbing you, but whosoever is thinking that they are saving on taxes, please mind it. GST people, GST team, and everybody is behind it. I know a lot of people who are working on this pattern of clubbing ARN. So anyway, I'm not going again deep into it, but still I would suggest you to consolidate your things, become a LLP or private limited, so that you should be future ready for hybrid model. I don't suggest anyone to go for a hybrid model immediately. Let's be ready for it, so that after 6 months or 1 year, we will have a wait and watch situation. We will see how whether we are losing on any clients because of these factors, whether this RIA new model is making an impact on this market or investors' mind. Then we have to think about taking the hybrid model. But you have to be ready, because 50 lakhs is the minimum net worth of the company, which has to be there. So you have to slowly keep maintaining that free reserves. So you have to accumulate that all by joining your ARNs. At the end, ask is everything. It is all about attitude, skill, and knowledge. Thanks to Kanakji and FFF kind of thing, where we work on both skill and knowledge, and you get a lot of these through different episodes and sessions. But attitude is something which requires to be there, and this comes from your inner soul and inner strength. I hope my session in the last 45 minutes will help you in attitude, not in knowledge and skill, because that is not the part which I shared with you today. I only worked upon to develop the attitude within yourself to work as an MFD in the best fashion manner. So Kanakji, from my side, I am done. I've skipped few slides just to save time, because it's already lengthy. And you can put the forum for any questions, whether I have to address it directly from the chat. So you tell me, or otherwise, if you want to moderate, you tell me.
That was really amazing, and a lot of learning and an eye-opener. One thing which I will specifically ask you, Abhinesh, is that if let's say somebody is opting for a both, do you think the compliances will go up? Compliances will increase to a great extent?
Yeah, because the compliance and plus the structure. See, because your email has to be different for both the division. Your staff has to be different for both the division. So you're sitting in the same office, but your all system has to be different. Your server has to be system different. You will have two websites. You will have two phone numbers. You cannot use the same phone number for both the companies. So first of all, this Chinese wall will be a big issue. So that is one. The second is the compliance. The compliance, chalo, I believe compliance is not a pain. Obviously, it is good for you. So that practice has to be done. That today we are habituated of sending 1 year or annual declaration. But in this case, you will have to send monthly. So monthly declaration, every quarter filing of returns. So a lot of things are there. A lot of things are there.
And can this be outsourced by some way? Let's say like experts like you, if you have a company like this, like we also hear about a lot of companies coming up like Mercury and all, who are like with the RIA platforms. So maybe something can be done with them by.
There are people, Kanakji, who are coming here to help us and help the fraternity, like Mercury and other people. They are offering an entirely different kind of system. It's not related to compliance completement. They are saying that you become our partner or what you call stakeholder in my company by any way, and use our system as an advisor. So they believe that advisory will be sold at 250 rupees or 100 rupees per client kind of thing. So that is the day they assume. But it is not true. Well, I don't believe like that. For the next 10 years or 5 years, what I just presented in the system, advisory will really be the same in the manner in which we used to work today also. People will not buy a plan in 200 rupees. It's not so precious because implementation will be the big job. Follow up will be the big job. So these people who believe that our firm will join 1,000 people together and then we all will start printing out a plan and charging the customer, all this is a dream. So I don't believe personally, Kanakji, that will help. Now, second is there will be any outsourced people or people who can really help them in terms of putting up compliance? Yes, maybe chartered accountancy firms will not be so competent entity to do all this. So these compliances has to be done by either themselves or some institution will come up, certainly will come up once they get into the need. Just GST ke liye aaj aa gaya. There are a lot of people who are helping you in GST filing and things. So maybe someone will come up. I don't know who will.
Good. Thank you so much, Abhinesh ji. It was really, really nice. And I think we all have really learned. If you can just share your email address or something like that, so that people.
Yeah, so I can just sharing again the screen so that you see the last part and take the screenshot of that. Huh? So you can take the screenshot of this section. And most of these questions are being addressed here in the blog also. So they can visit this blog and copy this.
One of the most helpful person in the industry, friends. I think please remain connected through his blogs or maybe social media also. I think that is going to be very, very helpful for all of us, in fact, and really look forward to that. So with this, thank you, Abhinesh ji, for your time and for being a speaker for this 21-week program. Thank you from Business Line and all the 27 IFAs. IFA, no, now I think it's an MFD association and from SSL Academy. Thank you so much.
So Karakji, I have not addressed any answer to the questions posted in chat. So if you wish, you can send me a bundle anytime so that I can give you a
Most of your answers were, as their questions were coming, I have observed that they all were
they have been answered. Okay.
And whatever was like not there, I was not there. Maybe in the last 1 minute, if something more has come, a lot of them are asking more details about Zoho and also I have written that we will have another session on that because again, that's a
that rather we can help them by taking this as a joint with Zoho so that the session will be helpful for them. Okay, great. Good day. Good day.
This session is recorded also. I will share the link so that you all can watch it from the channel. So with this, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Okay, friends, so now let's move further. And today we have a very, very interesting part as we are doing many times, which is again talking about the strengths of the financial advisors. So when it comes to strength, let me, before that, I just have one small thing to share, which is the 1 minute thing. This is a small video, like a game, which we is there. So this is one game. No, there are many such games, which is again for investor or a customer's interaction. So let's, in this position, you look at the bull. This is looking bigger. That was just a thought which I shared. So friends, now we will start with the session, which is again going to be very, very interesting with some of the people who have really worked on their strength. So we have George Samuel from Cochin, who again specialize in certain things which many of us as an advisor, we are also doing. I think one speciality which I really liked about him was he is one who has been doing SIPs for debt funds also. Most of us, we do only SIPs with equity funds, but he has been a propagator for that. And he is like one of the first person to start using computers in the city of Cochin in 1996, when he was working with LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India. And then we have Dhanya. She is from Trivandrum, and she is very new into this business, but in last few years, 2.5 years of her working, I think almost all of her clients have actually been acquired by way of doing a financial plan. So she is making a plan and then only she is acquiring these clients. So this is something which is very, very significant, and the way she is working, what the uniqueness she is working on, we will just know about that. Then we have David John from Hyderabad. He is a volatility coach and a very, very good learner, very connected persons amongst the IFA or the MFD fraternity, and really is doing a great work. How he is engaging his investors through various games, programs, activities, and various other such things, so that no clients keep referring him. We will just know that from him. Ajay, I had a talk again. He is from Chennai, from IFPA team, and the speciality which I really liked about Ajay today is Ajay specialized. No, we all talk about asset allocation, but how actually asset allocation has actually helped the clients. If you had invested something like, let's say, in gold, or maybe into international fund, or maybe into a mid cap or an equity or a debt, maybe people who have invested into gold, they were thinking that this is all rubbish, whatever was done for so many years, but in last 1 year people have seen the outcome of that. So I think the living example, the stories which I think Ajay will share, which will be like all eye-openers for all of us, and this is really going to help us all understand how asset allocation can be of that importance. Finally, Sundar Rajan, who is the secretary of PIFA Chennai also, and he is also going to talk about something which is again an extended version of asset allocation, but he ensures that all his client remains protected. The first criteria which he looks, and he is like known for that, he is going to protect. For that, if term insurance is required, or if it is required to just ensure that even if a client is getting less return, he is the one who ensures that that is going to happen. So friends, I'm really excited, and I really look forward to have all of them today, and let's just have them all one by one on the screen so that we all can actually really look. So friends, you all are welcome, and in the meantime, Dhanya and John, all of you can unmute yourself so that we can just, may I request David to just introduce himself first.
Yeah, good evening friends. I am David John from Hyderabad. I am a volatility coach since almost 2 years, and I thank Mr. Kanakji for giving us this platform to speak today. I am
next is
So are you able to hear?
Yes, absolutely. Danya, you also introduce yourself.
First of all, dear moderator, respected panelists, and dear participants, thank you so much for giving such an opportunity in such a big platform. And I personally thank Mr. Philip Cherian, our Association President, Kerala Region, and Mr. Manikantan Nair, our President, Trivandrum Chapter. And Kanakji, thank you so much. And myself, Dhanya Viyar, I'm a certified financial planner. I've been in industry since 2009 after my PG. I've joined in ICICI Prudential Life Insurance as a customer service manager. And then I moved to Tata Life as customer service manager of there for last 8 years, till 2018. I've handled ULIP clients there. And that time I got an opportunity to do my CFP. Mr. C.R. Gobinathan Nair, my guru and mentor, he's also in this in this meeting. He only guided me and he really helped me to achieve my CFP. And after CFP only, I came to this prestigious industry. So in 2018, Jan, I have started, and only I'm nearing to complete only 3 years. In this period, I could achieve and I could achieve almost 28 crore AUM and 35 lakhs SIP book size, 350 clients. So thank you for this opportunity.
Good. So on one hand, we have a very young entrant in this panel, Dhanya from Trivandrum. On the other side, we have a very old, experienced person, George Samuel, who is also in this industry. George, please introduce yourself.
Good evening to everybody. It is an honor to be a part of this August session. I'm happy to note that I am taking part in this program along with a group of stalwart MFDs. I'm grateful to those who made this possible for me.
Very good. Look forward for the interaction.
Yes.
Tell about how long you are in this business and a little bit about your business yourself.
I am into this for the last 30 years. Right from us, the main speaker told, right from 90, in fact, from 92, I'm there from 1992. And then, Templeton came, that means Kothari Pioneer Way. From then onwards, I am there. I've been selling mutual life insurance in the early days, but slowly I started marketing mutual fund schemes also. It's a great story and long story. In fact, I have seen very bad times, very difficult times, ups and downs in the industry and many things. But at the moment, if you ask me, I'm very happy. I have acquired good AUM. And now if you ask me, I am going to be 77 very soon. I have already planned a good succession plan. I have got somebody to join me. He'll be taking over as and when it is required. And that's all I would say. In the initials, I'm sorry.
We will ask you more about that, your succession plan and the way you are doing. Now, coming back to Ajay. Ajay,
hi.
Like your picture, like your face and your voice, you are so energetic. So,
thank you.
That's the reason you have talked about your asset allocation and all. But before we talking about, just introduce yourself a little bit, how long you are into this business and all.
Yeah, so luckily you didn't introduce me as old, and I'm in the same age category as Dhanya, I hope. Well, I'm Ajay Jose, representing AJ Financial Planners. I thank Kanak for this opportunity and our association IFPA Chennai, on behalf of whom we are talking. So I'm basically in this business since 2003 and enjoying every bit of it.
2003, it's now 17 years, a good long period. And only into mutual fund distribution, or more than that, others also, other products also?
Predominantly mutual funds, little bit of equities, some PMS, very little insurance.
Okay. Coming back to Sundar. So Sundar, you are also having the responsibility of working as a secretary of IFA. I think this itself is a very good leadership role. Most of us who are with some associations know what I have seen. It becomes a very big learning point, whether working as a president, secretary, or anything in the committee, core group. So this helps you to become a leader, a better person who can actually do a lot of things. And but again, before that, you are an MFD. So please tell about yourself.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all. Thank you, Kanakji, for this wonderful opportunity and the way in which you are running this program. Special thanks to you. Okay, I'm Sundar from Chennai. I am currently the secretary of IFPA. Before introducing about myself, I would like to say about Ajay Jose. He has a huge fan following in our association because he is the moderator for our all our monthly meetings. The way he puts his things across and things, a lot of fan following. In fact, more than listening to the speakers, people actually come in to attend Ajay Jose's speech. So that's the story. So I started into financial services right after my education. I did my PGDBM. I'm also a CFP. I started my career into broking business, stayed for about 3 years. Then I joined a bank, the erstwhile ABN AMRO and RBS. I was there for about 10 years. And then for whatever reason, the bank had to shut shop in India and they have to move out. Till such time, I was never thinking of setting up something on my own. For whatever reason, it actually happened to be good. And I thought really hard that should I join somebody or should I do something on my own? I said, let me try. If it doesn't work, then I can always go and start or getting employed. And that's the point in which that decision made a big difference to me. And I set up shop in 2014, and it's good 7 years. Total experience of about 18 years as MFD for about last 7 years or so. So predominantly I do into mutual fund business. Of course, I also do a little bit of insurance for the protection sake. And that's all about me, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So let's begin after the introduction. We will be very specifically talking about the strength, the way we all are actually working. Good to know, Ajay, that most of the time you are moderating. This is an exception, and we should all be into different roles many a time. So it is good that you are on the other side this time. And I really look forward to have you on the other side next time and you interview me. So that's how we all should be. So Ajay, the first question which I have is for you. The very interesting thing which I really understood from you was the asset allocation part. We MFDs, we talk about asset allocation, but the way you are doing it, that is really nice. So I'll request you to explain how you actually go about doing this asset allocation, maybe with an example of one of your client where they know this international gold, debt and equity, the asset allocation, how it is helped actually, if you can just go about it.
Yeah, so of course, for me, the entire last 17, 18 years has been learning, and I'm still learning, still improving. I mean, fine tuning my processes. But typically, what I have followed right from, I would say, 15 years, basically is absolute diversification. So we do a financial plan for every client who comes in, then we decide on an asset allocation for him. So we decide how much in equity, how much in debt, long term. So these are basically long term assets. The short term assets are always in debt, which are separated out. The long term assets, we decide how much in debt, how much in equity. Of the equity, always I put 25% overseas. So we've been following from, I think, more than 10 years. And normally I would put, say, 25% is 12.5% in US, say 7.5% in China, and maybe another 5% in Europe and all. It's not given returns, but yes, either Europe or ASEAN or something. Or now I've also started giving the global kind of funds which are available, across the countries. And I have always put a 5% or 7.5% in gold. So which is, whether the client likes or not, I kept sticking to it. In fact, the only sad story is personally my allocation alone, since 2011, I was investing in gold, and 1 year back, I lost my patience. I took out my money in gold. But for all the clients, I've stuck to it. And today we are talking about the China funds at around 60% return 1 year, some of the US fund at 50%, and the gold at 30-40%. So overall, managing a high single digit or a lower double digit return, even on the the worst case scenarios, which has helped quite a lot. And for my staff, when we have these processes in place, if a client says I want to invest 2 lakh or 5 lakh, whatever amount it is, so it goes as per the asset allocation. So I don't have to tell my staff where to invest. So if it is so much in large cap, there is already a 3 or 4 large caps which we have identified. Mid cap, so these 2-3 funds. Small cap, these 2-3, and the global. So the 2 lakh or 3 lakh or 1 lakh, whatever it is always asset allocated.
That's really nice, and I think this is the key, I think, for your success also, and for most of the financial advisors who are actually following. And asset allocation, my dear friends, comes into that incidental advice, as Mr. Abhinesh Kumar was telling, and I think we have to be a little bit careful about whatever way we are advising or talking, but incidental advice is a huge scope and huge thing, so not to worry also, and just having the compliance in place, I think that is very, very important. Coming back to Dhanya, you are, yes, you have mentioned that you are very young in this business, but still in 2.5 years, you have managed to get a 28 crore AUM and so much of SIP book, and you were telling that you have been doing some investor education programs, meetings also, and now whether you are doing digitally or not, and you have started getting references, and how do you go about doing that? What is the first thing which you do with a new prospect, new client? You also told that you have not got many old clients with you, so you have acquired all of them very, very new. So in such a small time, how did you manage to do that? I think many of the advisors would like to know that.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Currently, we are having 355 clients. In that, I can say that 300 plus clients are new to this industry. So how we are acquiring, like our USP, we can say that normally we are giving advertisement in Facebook for our webinar or seminar. Through that advertisement, they are filling the form, and we are getting that lead. Through that only, they are coming to our webinar or seminar. Before COVID time, we are conducting seminars. We used to conduct seminars in different offices. Every month, we will conduct one seminar on IAP in any other office, and in our office also. We will conduct 2 seminars. But after COVID, what we are doing is we are converted it to webinar. So there is no limit now. So there is no limit for geographical limit of Trivandrum. Anywhere, anybody can attend our webinar. So first process is that investor education program. I'm insisting like what I'm doing is, first we have to give the education to the client. Then after that presentation, which of the customers are interested taking the service of us, so they will call. We are waiting to get the call from the client. Then what we will do is we will have a one-to-one discussion with the Zoom. In Zoom only we are doing all online services. So Zoom, we will do the first one-to-one meeting, and in that one-to-one meeting, we will do that first need analysis and what all financial planning requirements. That I will collect all the requirements. We are having one link also for the client. We will send that link also to collect the details. And then in the next session, we will give the solution. And that solution we will consider in insurance planning. Insurance planning, we will give only term insurance and health insurance. And then in the investment plan, the need analysis and the future cash flow statement we will prepare and we will present to the client. So then diversified portfolio only through mutual fund. With different asset allocation, debt, hybrid, and equity. That way we are doing, and we are quarterly review also. So we are doing a quarterly review, and existing client is very important. So we have to give the proper attention to the existing client. So these two parts I am doing.
So friends, I think one thing is very, very clear. Number one, if all of us are doing asset allocations like Ajay, I think we are doing right. And the success of Ajay actually shows that if we are consistently doing that, even if with not your own portfolio, I think that is going to be very, very crucial. And now something which we all have understood from Dhanya is that even if you are new in this industry, you can actually make. Even if you have no references, you can do it. Only thing is you have to consistently do programs after programs. People say that all digital marketing and all these things don't work, but I think she is one living example over here sitting with all of us, okay, and telling us that this has worked. In 2.5 years with the work, with the volumes, with whatever she has created, this is a proof that this is actually working. And now most of the clients are just sitting, maybe they were sitting for such a long time idle, or maybe they have more time to listen to people like us. And I think this is one good example and good confidence boosting which actually Dhanya you have given to all of us, and I think this is really, really nice. What platform and all you are using? I think somebody is writing a question for you, Dhanya. You can just have a look at the chat box and maybe you can reply.
Sure.
So next, coming to David. I think we know each other for many years now, and Hyderabad, not only when we did MFRT and all your activities, you were very, very active at that point of time. And I have seen you doing your programs, especially you are conducting and you are doing a lot of investor education programs at your client's office, at your own office, because most of the photographs which I receive, you are conducting volatility games and all. So I see you doing and all. So how do you manage to bring people to your office and places when these programs are done?
Yeah.
These lines you can share.
Yeah, actually, we from the beginning, as you know, our business started in the year 2005 January. So for this January, we will be completing 16 years. So we are one of the first in the industry started doing IAPs. Our first IAP was in the year 2006. And we were taking help of some AMCs, and then we started making in various locations where we thought potential clients are located. So we were doing in their communities, we were doing in their offices. And then slowly later on, we started doing in hotels where it can get sponsored by the companies. And then, so we were doing continuously from 2006. And last 2 or 3 years, we were conducting very regularly, almost monthly once. And we are onboarding a lot of new clients also. So from the beginning, we are always believed that we need to educate our investors before onboarding. So we were always very clear about what are their goals and requirements. And then we were onboarding clients. So most of our clients have given referrals, and that's how our business has grown till date.
Yes, that is the same with many of us, but you have been doing that in style, and that is the reason for your success. Coming to George, in Cochin City, again, I think people are more towards LICs and like savings. Like I've heard that people have been investing more into. So I think security one was reason. And you mentioned that from very beginning, when you are doing a SIP of equity fund, you have also made it a point that you have given a debt SIP. So how this whole idea came into your mind, and how did you start with this? Why did you do this? What was the main reason to do this?
The main reason for that is actually UTI and Franklin Templeton. They came out with 2 debt funds. Wonderful funds which are doing very well even now also, which was good, so that I started talking about retirement planning right from the beginning. And those SIPs are running. Along with that, I started giving SIPs in equity funds also. Although I was an LIC agent, maybe sometime in 96, 97, around 2000, I stopped selling. I won't say stop selling LIC. I slowly moved into mutual funds. And by 2004, I must have converted all my LIC policy holders into mutual fund investors. That was my success actually. And at that time, nobody would accept mutual fund. It was impossible to get an SIP check. People were having check leaves of six check leaves. How will you get SIP form signed? I really had very tough time, but I enjoyed it. That was a good time actually. When looking back, I enjoy that. I did a very good job for myself and for my clients.
Yes, I think that's what Abhinesh ji was also telling. As an MFD is in 1998, 96, 2000. That was the time. Actually, you have really created that whole thing. So I think whatever you are telling is like absolutely in the same connect.
Yeah. When he was talking about, I was remembering those days actually. It was very difficult to talk about mutual fund. It was very difficult to talk about retirement. But somehow I managed it, and people are withdrawing money now during the last 6-7 years as SIPs, good amounts. People are very, very happy. And, although my old LIC is selling, pension plans, it was very difficult to convince people that there is another method by which you can earn better return than the conventional insurance plans or the conventional other investments. That was my strength, and that was going on. And you see, as I mentioned earlier, I am going to be 77 very soon. Although I am happy, energetic, everything, I am fit, 100% fit. There is nothing wrong with me. Physically fit, healthy, everything is. But I have planned a succession thing, because there are 2 or 3 things actually. I should enjoy my life. You see, that is most important thing. Plus, all my clients should be happy. They also will. I got the signals actually. They were having, a sort of a fear. What will happen to them if I'm not there tomorrow? I've been getting that sort of signals. So I decided on that. That's how I started looking for a good person, which was very difficult because I wanted a person who was thinking on my line. He should be trustworthy. He should be sincere. He should take care of my clients who have been, my bread and butter for the last 30 years. Now their children are my clients. So the children are my clients actually. In fact, a good number of young fellows, especially IT guys, who are all, spread over in Bombay. I have not seen some guys actually. Those who have not seen, many young fellows have joined me as SIP. Those things are there actually. That's why I have planned a good IFA or MFD as my successor.
So friends, I think a good learning from all of us from George Samuel is number one, debt SIP works. And most of us, we do equity SIPs and we give one additional debt SIP. But for him, this is reverse. He used to give debt SIPs and with that, additional equity SIPs is given. Number two, he is creating a succession plan, which is again, he's identified people so that they can take his legacy forward. I think each as an MFD, we also start working. Abhinesh ji was also telling, not only as a security point of view, compliance point of view, I think we all should create an entity and then we should have a person and we should have a number of persons so that the whole legacy can be continued. This is really interesting. We'll come back to you, George, again with a story which we would like to listen to you, wherein the debt SIPs and things you have done, how that has helped a particular client. Coming back to Sundar. Sundar, you were telling about protection. Okay, so now we keep talking about Trinity. So in Trinity now, one is like the protector, the other one is the creator, and the other one is like who just maintained the thing. So I also keep talking about. So you are one of those protectors, which is the Shiva energy. So please tell about your Shiva energy a little bit.
Thank you, sir. What I have learned or what I've observed in our business is the client experience. I think at a client experience level, I think there are 3 touch points from our side. One is the service standards, what we do. Naturally, I think that is a non-compromise, and everyone understand why service is important. I think that's the first point where we touch. Second is the client experience through knowledge, what we have. And every time a client appreciates our call or a personal meeting or whatever we say, I think there we are ticking the box. So at the client experience and the service, I think broadly we all do very well, broadly. The third experience, the most important experience is the portfolio experience. You do the first 2 things right, and whenever the client looks at the portfolio, if the portfolio is down, I think all the other 2 experience actually goes for a toss. Though the client understands, we are knowledgeable, etc., I think finally our job is to make sure that his portfolio grows. And another important thing, what I've observed is whatever education we do, the client understanding ability is very limited because he has got multiple things to do. So whatever we speak macro level, I think eventually as an MFD, I think our biggest role, or according to me, the biggest role is that we should make sure that the portfolio looks positive most of the time, if not all the times. So to do that, naturally, as one of our senior members here, Mr. George, so I also started doing this, starting allocating, because the client always says after listening to our presentation that long term, yes, we will make wealth, etc. But eventually, end of the 3rd year, he wants the money back to buy a car or a marriage in a family or something like that. Some reason or the other, he wants the money back. And we have created all the portfolio thinking that he is going to stay with us for 10, 15, 20 years. And eventually at the end of the 3rd year, there is a high probability you wouldn't have made good returns or at times even negative return. And the moment he has to withdraw money, if I have not created any part of the portfolio which is zero risk or with minimum risk, I think he is going to have a very, very bad experience. He will not accept that he did not understand and he did not maintain, because end of the day, client is superior. So I think we have to change the way in which we construct portfolios, so that we need to foresee that at some point or the other, the client will dip into the portfolio. So we need to keep that part of the portfolio. So that is one thing which I have made it as a practice. So in the last 3 years, what I have done is whoever is coming into the meaning as a client, first thing is to give them some allocation towards debt, something for medium term, maybe through asset allocation kind fund, so that 5-7 years, and then something for the long term. So the priority is like this: start with a liquid or a debt, and then a moderate fund, and maybe next look at the long term. What this has done is the experience of all the 3 hopefully ticks very nicely, so that hopefully the client will travel with us for long term. Because when the portfolio looks positive, I think even if you screw up on the other 2 things, I think we'll still continue with this. So that's what I normally follow, sir.
Very nice to know that, Sundar. This is a beautiful way you do your practice, and I'm sure more and more benefits people will be getting. All of us are talking about asset allocation. I'm in the process of creating an asset allocation game also. Maybe in one of the meetings, we will share that in December before Christmas. That is the time we intend to share that with all of you. Now, my last questions to all of you is please tell maybe a story or an instance. Maybe Dhanya will have a very small period, is there 2.5 years. I don't know how much stories, more stories maybe others will have. But again, a small story of a success of a client because of these strategies, and how you see yourself 5 years down the line in 2025 doing what. So one by one, all of you can just share. Maybe start with David, then Dhanya, then George, and then Ajay, and then Sundar. One by one.
Yeah, actually we have planned some goals for clients, and it was very nice to see that they were achieving their goals. In one of the Volatility Coach book also, if you have seen, one of our doctor has achieved their son sending US for higher studies, only with a small amount of growth out of whatever total portfolio that was created. And 2 or 3 years prior, we have planned everything, and then the portfolio was not disturbed at all, and we could achieve that. So likewise, we have seen one engineer their daughter got married, and everything was planned 1 or 2 years prior, and their portfolio is intact, but we have managed all the budgets. And they have invited us for their wedding, and then everyone, they were introducing that he is my family financial expert. So it is a very good experience we get once clients get their good experiences. So we have actually one more client who achieved their dream house, and we planned 2 years, 3 years prior to that. And then we could keep the parking of money in liquid funds, debt funds, equity funds, and we could complete their dream house. And after that, we got so many referrals from that particular client. So the referrals is one of the major business. Now MFDs, if they have to survive in the future, we should have very good experience for our clients. And all our clients are meant for lifetime, and we are also there for a lifetime experience.
Yes, friends, I will recommend each one of us when we have a success story of our client, even if at your cost, please showcase that. If required, and if your client give you permission, put it on your website that they are successful. You try to put it into media. You try to have a recording. It is like about their success. You just only talk about their success, their financial success. One advantage, a lot of people will get inspired. And number two, MFD is doing. My dear friends, throughout our career, we have done so many things with IFA. Now MFD branding has to be done. David is doing for you, just all of us, all across India. If we are doing a branding for MFDs, I think it is a branding for all of us. Today, SEBI probably is thinking that MFDs are doing nothing. They are not advising. Because of them, nothing has happened. Because of them, their dreams have not been fulfilled for a client. But they are wrong. If they see thousands of posts like this on social media, on digital platform, on the websites, maybe on AMFI website, like with the chairman of AMFI, Mr. Nilesh Shah, he is proposing to create a place on the AMFI website wherein investors can come and put their videos, that they are happy with their MFDs. I think this is something which we all should do. And David, very nice stories. I think these stories you have been putting into the Economic Times magazines also for last 2 years. Continue to do that, create more, put it on your websites also. These are really, really helpful. Coming to Dhanya. Yeah.
Yes, sir. As Kanakji said, I only nearing to complete 3 years only the system, but I have a success story. Like one of my client in Tata ULIP, I was handling ULIP clients there and fund management and client service. I used to give service in ULIP from 2010 to 18. So at that time, she was started the fund in 2010, and at the time of 2018, that amount got tripled. And I asked her to join another scheme, but she told me, no, I'm not interested. I want to join in mutual fund only. And she asked me, could you please give the mutual fund advice? So, but at that time I was with the Tata only as an employee. But when I came to this industry, I approached her. At the time, I prepared a plan for her, and she started investment with her. And one thing is, she was waiting to get advice from me. She not started mutual fund service till yet. So, and then what happened is, after taking my service, after 1 year, she advised to her son-in-law. Son-in-law, he's working in Dubai and highly paid, and he referred his friends. The chain is going on, and from there only I got my highest SIP. So the story from my end, and yeah, and I think
the success keeps growing, and you keep on getting the reference, and your business keeps growing. That's very nice.
Yes. Thank you.
George sir, any story which you would like to share?
Yeah, I have plenty, but I remember just one case which I would share with you. I have a very senior guy. He was around 62 or 63, and we were planning retirement, SWPs. I had a very good portfolio and all that. And he got an extension of 3 years. But all of a sudden, he developed some health problem. So he decided to quit the job. So the whole thing got puzzled because I was planning for next 3 years, but he decided to quit. And he said, he called me, George, I want to start my SWP. I was a little shattered because it was not planned that way. And he was also aware of that. But, one good thing happened. Every year he used to ask me how much money I would be able to withdraw. How much money I would be able to withdraw. He used to ask me when something happens all of a sudden. I said, sir, don't worry. We will be able to make what you need. By the time his two sons got employment and they went away. One fellow went to US, the other fellow went to Bombay and all. And he and his wife. And he asked me, how will you manage it? I said, don't worry, sir. Don't worry. I will show how much money, as I had promised, I'll be able to give you maybe from next financial year. You know how I managed it actually? I never promised anything beyond the market rate. I always promise 1% less than the market rate or more or less same. At that time, mutual fund was giving 15%, 14%, 13% and all. I would never give more than 7% or 8%. This was my strategy even now also. So that saved me, and he's very happy actually. He never expected that actually. I said, sir, don't worry about it. Those SWPs are running even now. He's very happy. His children, actually, in fact, his two sons and their wives, they're all my clients. This is one good story. Of course, I have plenty of things, but because of the time, I would like to share only this. Thank you, sir. And you were asking me about 2025. What is my plan? I am 100% sure all my clients would double the value of their investments definitely in the next 5 years or more perhaps. Definitely more. And my successor would be doing very good. Hopefully, I should be around enjoying my life. This is 2025. I would say a word to my new MFDs. In India, we have not even seen the tip of the iceberg. This is what I could say. You have a very huge potential, and greater growth and wonderful future, wonderful future. I can say for all these youngsters who are struggling and suffering these days, I saw a lot of young fellows because they are going through a very difficult time. I know each one personally. They are finding it very difficult to survive. Around 30 years, 40 years, and ordinary youngsters who are, who are finding it very difficult, but they will definitely have a wonderful future. Only thing, the journey is going to be very, very tough. It's going to be very tough, but the tough will get going. I have no doubt about it. This is what I would say from my experience. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. And I think one big learning for all of us is even if you're putting less expectations for your clients, I think that is the key. So for all of us, all those people who have, if you can match the expectations, which means if you have actually committed something very less, and if that after that as a return, if you are getting more, I think that is good enough. So this is one big learning which is from George, and we have been listening to this, but now we have a living example of the story coming over here. Coming to Ajay. Ajay, please share a story and then reviews.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, the success story for the client. Yes, I had been introduced to a client who took a VRS from IOC. In fact, she was introduced by another gentleman who was a retiree. So he said he's managing my retirement fund. So as usual, the amount that she got after retirement, which was around 70 lakhs, she had put entirely into bank FDs. And she was getting close to 49,000 a month kind of interest at that time. This was around 10, 11, 12 years back. And when she came to me, so I said, okay, we will build a portfolio for you, which of course will have asset allocation, equities and all that. So she was initially very skeptical. She said, no equities and all, I'm not okay with. So we kept maximum debt, but little bit on the appreciation side, we kept on moving to the equity. And we said we'll give you the same. So 49, we said we'll give you 45,000 a month as your monthly pension. And we will also try to grow your corpus, which will not happen in your bank FD. Your bank FD 70 lakhs would always remain 70 lakhs. So we in fact gave her this 45,000 a month. We have recently increased it to around 50,000, 52,000. The bank FD, if she would have continued, the 45 would have gone down now to 30,000, 29,000 or so because of the lower rate of interest. And her corpus of 70 is now touched in fact, it touched 1 crore before the COVID. So normally I have I send a message to everybody who reaches 1 crore, a congratulatory message, and saying that looking forward to reaching the 5 crore milestone soon. And every client accepts that. I mean, nobody says no to that. So yeah, that is one point I want everybody to. And one more thing I would like to say, since I was sharing with Kanak. So when we do the financial plan, I take into account all their assets, especially the real estates. And I keep looking out at an opportunity to liquidate some of those assets. Of course, it's very difficult for people to, to persuade them from selling off some plot of land or some apartment or something. But I keep talking to them on every meeting. We review and we tell them, if you had sold this piece of land, which is just lying there. And every year when we review, we ask them what is the value. So especially in the last 4 or 5 years, people are telling the same value, and sometimes the value has become lesser also. So last year when the value was 40 lakh, when I asked this time, they said it is 38 lakhs or 37. So I said, if your investment doesn't grow at a 7-8% every year, you'll be lagging behind, and it's a big sum of money is sticking there. So I had been actually working with most of my clients, asking them to sell real estate. When they sell the real estate and the money comes to me, it will be a really big ticket. So it's a slow process, but it will be a great reward at the end. I mean, that is what I would leave you all with. Thank you.
No doubt, and I'm sure that the clients continue to get the benefit with the strategies, with the way you are working with them. Finally, coming to Sundar, what is one of your stories? I think, see, from each story, we are learning a lot. That is very, very important. I think, with what Ajay is telling, each of our clients, even I have observed, even 80-90% of their assets are into real estate. So if if you are able to get one of those properties sold and put that investment or something like that, automatically the SIP value also comes down, and a lot of allocation can be done. So this is something really very nice, and you are doing it practically. I think this is a big learning for all the MFDs. Yeah, over to you, Sundar.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I think what Ajay spoke, I think it is in similar line with one of my client who actually got convinced and actually sold a real estate. So I had a client who was actually, meaning he was reasonably well paid and he was earning about 1.5 lakh rupees a month or so. I was referred to him and I just went and approached, and he said, yeah, I will start, but I will start with a 2,000 rupee SIP. So I was not really very happy because I thought the potential was much more, but he was not very open in the initial meetings. But so eventually I took the relationship, and the relationship got onboarded. But over a period of time, 2-3 months later, he actually got in touch with me, he called me and said, Sundar, I'm actually going through a financial crisis kind of a situation. I don't know what to do. Then he said, I will come and meet you. And we had a meeting, and he explained his whole stuff. And eventually what I got to know was he had 2 properties in Chennai. Both were running on loans. And I asked, why did you buy 2 properties when you actually needed 1? So he said, somebody said tax saving, etc., etc. And then I told him this is one major thing you could have avoided. And he slowly started listening to me, and finally agreed that holding the second property for tax is of no use. And the house was also not yielding him any rental income because the property was way outside the Chennai limits. And it was simply locked, and he was paying a EMI, and it was actually pinching his whole finances. Then I showed him my Excel and etc., etc. And finally he got personally convinced. And I said, sir, in India, the big problem is we are all asset rich and liquidity poor. And I made him understand why liquidity is so important in anybody's finance. And then he was almost like convinced after a 2-hour kind of a sitting. Then the big problem came was, how do I convince my family? I said, sir, that's a big trouble, because when you buy mutual fund, when you want to sell, it is your decision. But when you want to sell real estate or when you want to sell gold, it is a family decision. So always make sure that the decision is easy so that you can execute, because end of the day, you are investing money to take it out as and when you want. Then he said, Sundar, will you take the trouble of convincing my wife also? I said, if that can add value, I'll be more than happy. And he actually was very, since he was in a bad shape, he took the meeting so seriously. He convinced his wife, brought his wife to the office. And again, the same stuff I explained. And in about 2 months, the property was sold, and he called me and he was so happy. Then I really, meaning personally, I felt that I've actually added value to somebody's life. And that was a big eye opener, because this is one thing we tell to almost all the clients who meet. But few clients actually take our advice very seriously, and we don't know who it is. So we need to be sincere in our approach, whether the client does or not. I think our approach needs to be very sincere. And today, whatever money he got after selling the proceeds, after adjusting the loan, that money is invested into mutual funds for his long term and as for his children's education. I think this was really an eye opener for me itself, and that's the story I wanted to share.
Brilliant, brilliant. They are really, really heart touching and very, very nice stories. They are not stories, actually, they are case studies for all of us in this panel, and also all those people who are attending and being here. I think this way we all have stories, and I think we all should continue to share these stories to our clients, to MFDs, to friends. This is like inspiring, this is motivating, and there is a lot of learning out of this. I think this is one way we all can actually grow each other. So friends, thank you so much for your time, for the sharings, and for whatever wisdoms you all have actually shared. They are really, really nice and very, very precious. And I'm sure the way you all are doing business, why 5 years, why 10 years, and why 15 years, the legacy will continue and business will continue to grow, and that's how things are. So again, from Business Line and powered by Tatva, thank you, Ajay, for being a speaker for this 21-week program. I think your contributions will be remembered. Thank you, David, for being, as you are every time, very, very helpful and very, very nice. And I'm sure your stories will also be continuously helping other clients also. Dhanya, I really look forward to see you. Today it is 2.5, 3 years. Maybe after 30 years also you will be coming and sharing your stories, and that sharing will continue, and it will be lot more success to you. And Sundarajan, I'm sure. Thank you very much for being a speaker again for all these programs. And finally, George, the senior most in this panel. So looking forward, and a lot of learnings from all of you. So thank you very much. A big applause to all of you, and for whatever you all have shared. And with this, we also, next episode will not be on a Saturday because it's a Diwali day. So we are doing the next episode on Thursday. Okay. So friend, remember this date, this 12th November, Thursday, 5 o'clock. So this is again one program which is again a little change in the normal thing. So we are doing this 11th episode on, but this time the specific is about the planning for youth and children. In this program, Dr. Celso and Dipesh, both of them will be sharing their thoughts, because they have done phenomenal work with children, with youth. And in this program, I will encourage, even if you want, you can also ask some of your investors also, who are having kids and children, they can also join, or maybe some youth also. So this is going to be really helpful for them. So this is the way this programs will continue, and really look forward to all of you for whatever it is. So thank you very much, friends. Now we have for today a special person who is going to give vote of thanks for today, none other than our own Philip Chayan. So over to you, sir. Please share your thoughts. I think it was really, really nice session. Yes, Philip.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. Respected Connect Chain, our most valued speakers, and all the participants, it's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. A big thank you for Connect Chain for facilitating this program. An event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been even fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated members of Financial Freedom Fraternity who have executed this so well. Thank you, Abhinesh Kumar, for sharing your thoughts on whether to take RIA or continue as an MFD. Thank you, VC David John, for sharing your insights. Thank you, Ajay Jose, for sharing your thoughts on asset allocation. Thank you, Sundarajan, for sharing your practices. Thank you, George Samuel sir, our strong pillar of IFA Kerala, for sharing his long journey in this business and his succession plans. Thank you, Danya VR CFP. Actually, she's the Jansi Rani of IFA Kerala, for sharing your success story. She has created a stand for herself in this business within just 2 years in Kerala.
Yeah.
On behalf of Financial Freedom Fraternity and IFA Kerala, I would like once again extend a hearty thanks to all of the participants for taking your time and being with us this evening. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you.